Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta, I come from Norway and I love makeup. Today I'm going to show you the new palette from Micka Beauty Shop called Simplicity, and I'm so excited to try this palette, and I think the artwork is just stunning. It is actually the same artist that designed my collab palette, Serpent, right here, so I think you can almost see that the style is a bit similar, and I personally love the artist who did that, so I'm so excited they used them again. And on the inside it's a very interesting color story. It's very springtime, I feel like, especially with these brighter pastel pops, but the shimmers in here are like so stunning. You will see it in the swatches, which I will be showing you, but I also have some new single shadows from Micka Beauty Shop, and I swatched a bunch of these before, but the new ones that I have are the 4 down here and the beautiful one up here called Sea Spray. So I will do some swatches and close-ups of those as well, so that you will have swatches of all of my Micka Beauty Shop single shadows on my channel. So I will leave a link to the previous video down in my description box if you're interested in checking out some of the other ones right here, because they are so beautiful. I of course also did this look using the Simplicity palette, so if you're interested in seeing the swatches of the singles of the palette and how I created this look that I'm wearing right here, keep on watching. I'm going to start off swatching the singles, and this here is called Sea Spray, and it is such a beautiful shadow. It's like a silvery shade, but it has tons of sparkles, and I feel like it's a little bit more to the like periwinkle purple silver kind of tone. So let's just swatch it. Here you see it on the finger. It is highly reflective. Super beautiful, and it applies so smoothly on the arm. I'm just gonna build it up before I show you some more shifts. Okay, so here we have it swatched out a little bit thicker, and I do have some light coming in from the side to really show those sparkles. Oh wow, this is like a fairy single shadow. It is so pretty, and I feel like you can definitely see a little bit more of that purpley kind of tinge that this shade has. Oh wow, it is so pretty, and I feel like this would be very versatile because the base is so light and that reflection is just so pretty. So that is the shade Sea Spray. Next shade to swatch is the shade Lolita, and I feel like Lolita is nearly identical to Transformation from my collab palette with Micka Beauty Shop, so we will see, but you can definitely see that it's a warm kind of iridescent, and it shifts like a green to a pink, but it's a very warm kind of pink, almost orange tone. And I'll first actually just swatch it next to Transformation here, because I just really want to see how similar they are. Wow, so Lolita is almost a bit more orange. Wow, I almost prefer that to Transformation, actually. Wow, I'll have to use some different light. Here you can see with different lighting. Wow, I really like how Lolita is looking. Of course, I love Transformation too. I feel like maybe Transformation is even more shifty, whereas Lolita is a bit more reflective, because you can see that Transformation, it really goes more to green, or am I wrong? I don't know. At least here you can see them next to each other, so I guess you can make up your own mind about it. But I'll of course also swatch it out here, so I have it on my arm. Oh my god, this is like my favorite kind of iridescent that goes from a green, gold, pink, orange. It is so stunning. And look how reflective that is. And I think my camera is capturing it quite well, actually. So let's see with the different lighting right here. Wow. Yeah, this is a must-have for me. I'm so glad I picked it up, even though I do have a lot of variations of this shade. But it's just so stunning. And very shifty. So that is the shade Lolita. Next up we have the shade Chandelier, and it has a more grayish blue base, but it has that warm shift. Another one of those kind of shades that I just love so much. It looks like it's almost a deeper version of Lolita. So I'm gonna swatch it and we shall see how similar they are. Wow, they are very similar. Again, I feel like this one is nearly more warm than Lolita again. That's very interesting. I think I'll swatch Chandelier next to Lolita here. You can definitely see it has a deeper base, but other than that they're very similar. Now I'm going to show you with the lighting coming from the side. This is definitely a bit more warmer toned and a little bit deeper in the base, but very stunning. I don't mind having both because, as I said, I love these kinds of shades. So that is Chandelier, and this is how it looks on my finger. I feel like I have to show it just because it looks so much more opaque right here, but that is so foiled, so shiny and shifty. Stunning. Next shade is called Holophallic, and it is a holographic shadow, but it does seem to be like one of those green to orange kind of goldy shifty shades. So we shall see. I think it's quite deep, especially in comparison to the other ones that I have here. Wow, it is so pretty. So here we have the shade Holophallic. Definitely very shifty, as you can see. It does have that warm gold tone where, like in the middle right here, but it shifts almost to a teal, I feel like. But the green is also very visible. And I don't know how much you can see of the holographic particles, but for me I can see them quite well. But I feel like holographic particles definitely show up better in real life than they do on camera. And often you do need artificial lighting to really show it off, but you would have artificial lighting inside your home, or if you go to a restaurant or whatever, it will be the perfect lighting to show off those holographic sparkles. So that is the shade Holophallic. The last shade I have to swatch from the singles is called Pyramid, and I'm a little bit scared to turn it upside down because once I tried to swatch it once I received my order, a lot of it just lifted up from the pan. It's very flaky, so we shall see now. Yeah, it's still flaking off here. I don't know if you can see that in the middle, but yeah, on my finger now I have like this. Ooh, I'm trying not to lose it though. Wow, it's super stunning. But this one I think you would definitely need to use with a glitter glue, and it's maybe the most shifty of all of these. It seems to lay down once I tap it again. Now let's see how it swatches. I'll swatch it dry, even though I definitely think you would need a glitter glue on your eyes. But I did just make a video on Glaminatrix shadows too, and they also have some that are of this formula that they actually do smooth down pretty nice on the skin, but I think you would want to use a glitter glue to really get the opacity and intensity that you want with these shadows. Wow, it's very pretty though. I'll just finish off the swatch and then show you with different lighting. Here we have it swatched a bit better. I still haven't applied any glitter glue, of course. It also has that kind of bluish gray base, and it does have slightly the same kind of shift. It goes from, I don't know, is it a gold or a green to a pink? It's very beautiful, that's for sure, and very shiny and sparkly. Yeah, those are the singles that I picked up. So again, it is Sea Spray, Lolita, Chandelier, Holophallic, and Pyramid. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous bunch of shadows, and I hope that it's helpful for you to see the swatches, because some of them are a little bit similar, but you know me and those kinds of shades, like the green to orangey pink shades, I just really love them. So for me, I don't mind having some shades that are similar. I'll go ahead and swatch the palette next and just show you the finished swatches. Just before I show you the swatches, I just wanted to show you the palette untouched. I think it's such a pretty color story, and the shimmers are super nice and sparkly. You do have that classic blue with a pink to green shift, which is very intense, but I'm actually most excited about this because it's kind of like a muted red, nearly orange shade. And this one is very beautiful for just a neutral look because it's very like elegant, but it has a lot of sparkles. And this one too. It is kind of neutral to cool toned, maybe a little bit purple. So pretty. And this one is very exciting. It's almost a black shimmer. I'm so excited to swatch that one. And this is looking beautiful. It's a green, warm green shade. Looks a little bit shifty too. And one thing I do want to say though is that I find some of these more neutral shades a little bit too similar. Maybe like these are a bit too similar. I don't know, I just feel like maybe you could have had one green shade maybe that is not as minty as this one, but that's just my preference. And I think the fact that this has a few more neutral or muted leaning shades makes it a little bit more versatile for everyday use, if you don't like to use colors every day, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna swatch it and show you the swatches. Of course, right after washing off all the swatches, I realized I did not add this swatch. Oh my god. I probably have to redo everything for the photos, but for this video, I'm just gonna show you this shade swatched on my hand. Like, this is literally the one I want to wear for the look I'm gonna create today. It looks so pretty, super sparkly. It has that kind of red to orange shift without being like any of the other shades that I have that could be I guess comparable to this. So pretty, and it's the same formula as that more neutral light shade and the more purpley silvery shade. So that is the the missing shade from the palette. Here we have the swatches of the whole palette. I'm a little bit unsatisfied with the order in which I swatched all the shades, but I mean, it's okay. The shadows themselves are really, really beautiful though. So I guess we can zoom you in a little bit, and I'll start from the top. So the first mattes you can see here, it's a peachy matte. Then there is a kind of, I don't know, medium mauve, almost purple, and it has a few specks of glitter in it. And that formula on this one, I did not really like it. I did have to build it up quite a bit, and it felt like a shade that will hard pan. So yeah, that's not my preference. But then we have the ones underneath here. The purple was just incredibly pigmented. It was like nearly one swipe and so opaque, so I really enjoyed that one. And the light green as well, super nice. And these shimmers, you guys, they are so intense. They're like foiled but with tons of sparkles in them. So I love them so much. I think they're so beautiful and I cannot wait to use them. And the texture of the shadow, when you touch them, it's like, how do I even explain it? It's nearly a little bit waxy, but in a good way. So it feels like a formula that you can just apply straight on, even with a brush or a finger, and you don't need anything to make it adhere to your lid. That's the kind of formula it feels like. And you can just see how stunning the sparkles are. It's just super pretty. Then we have two different mattes here. They're a little bit too similar to me. I would have been good with just this one. This one is just like a mixture of this brown down here and this one, I feel like. But at least you have some options for brown transitions. But this yellow I love. It's like a mustardy kind of yellow, but it's very warm. And I love that kind of color. So maybe I will use that for my look today. Then we have this next shimmer. It's a little bit of an odd texture to me. It looks really beautiful, and I'm sure it will look beautiful on the eye too, but you can see the flakes here. I think you'd probably need a glitter glue because they kind of lift when I move my arm too much, but it's, I mean, it looks really pretty. Then there are two brown mattes. I love the dark one. It's just the perfect kind of dark matte brown. The warmer one is also nice. I just don't use it that much, but I guess I could try to use it in this palette. But I feel like it would have been enough for me with this brown and this brown. And then we have some super interesting shimmers at last here. This one reminds me of the Tamitanuka Mother of Oils pigment, just with a little bit of gold sparkles to it. It is so opaque, and again, it's that kind of waxy kind of feel to it. And it's not the most sparkly shadow, but I think it would make a super beautiful smoky eye. And I mean, you can see it does have some shine to it, so I think it's very interesting. And it is a little bit more on the gold side rather than silvery black, which I enjoy. And I don't think I have anything like this in my collection, especially not in a pressed form. So that is really neat. Last but not least, we have that kind of rainbow multichrome. It's so pretty. It's definitely something that you can use with almost any of these mattes and just have an amazing colorful look. So that is the whole palette swatched, and you can see the color story here. I feel like you have so many options here, and I think it's definitely unique, and I cannot wait to try to use it. And you can definitely make a lot of neutral looks with a pop of color with these shadows, so that's very interesting. Anyway, for this look, as I said, I do want to use this shade as like the main shade, and I think I want to mix it into this one for the inner corner of the eyelid. And then I'm not exactly sure which mattes to use. I will definitely use this one for depth, but I haven't decided if I just want to keep it neutral with maybe some of these, or if I'll add something more yellow or peachy. So I'll just have to see where it takes me. So I am, as I said, starting with that deep brown shade called Transhumans, and I'm taking it on my Glam Shop 0122 brush, and I'm adding that in the outer corner. And I wasn't sure if I should maybe do a halo eye, but I think I decided I just want to do a regular deeper outer corner, lighter inner corner look. It's just been what I prefer lately. Now I'm taking the shade Simple, which is the lightest beige, on my Stasi Alex WG2 brush, and I'm just gonna try to keep my lid, or like my matte shades, neutral, and see how that looks together with that stunning warm toned shimmer. Ooh, that's actually a really nice transition shade. It just blended so easily. I mean, is it looking good on camera? Because for me it was like, it looks so good and it was so easy, super blendable. I'm just gonna take this one on the lower lash line and blend it with this one. So I'm first using that lighter shade and just applying that here. So for that I'm using my GB13 brush from Glam Shop. And this shade has a few gold sparkles in it. I just think it would be nice to add some warmth because I'm wearing an orange dress. Now I will be taking this shade, Burgeon, on my finger, and I think I will use a brush for this lighter shade right here, just because that's going in the inner corner and it's a little bit harder to reach with a finger. But I'm so excited to see how this one will look on the eyelid. It's just so reflective. Oh, and I nearly forgot, but I will mattify my lid with just a kind of skin colored light matte shade. I'm currently just using the one from the Nugatova palette from Glam Shop. I just think it's very easy to reach for. So I'm just applying that all over where I haven't added anything else. And then I'm ready for the shimmer. So I'll just apply that right here in the outer corner. And I think I'll apply it towards the middle and then kind of in a diagonal way like this. That is so pretty. Oh, I look like I'm really sweaty, but I swear it's just a lot of sunscreen because the weather outside is so gorgeous. So I have to wear a lot of sunscreen. And now I'm taking my WG4 brush from Stasi Alex, and I'm just going to see how these shimmers apply with a brush. Yeah, I definitely prefer my finger, but it looks really nice also with a brush. You do have to kind of wiggle the brush into it, because if not, it's a little bit hard to get it on the brush, but this is working really nicely. Now I'm taking whatever is left on my finger from that more red tone, I'm just tapping over where I blended the two. Oh, and this is so elegant. Smoky, but really pretty in my opinion. I'm so happy with how this is looking. I'll finish off with some eyeliner tucked into the upper waterline. I'll definitely do mascara, maybe some lashes and the rest of my face, and I'll show you the close-up. That was the close-up of this look. I love it so much. This look is giving me the same vibe that I got from using the palette from Lorac Pro. I think that's what the brand is called, but they have some Soleil Pro palettes and I felt like those were just so elegant, so I don't know, just neutral glam, and that's exactly what I'm getting from this look. These shimmers are just so incredible. They're super foiled while still being so sparkly, and I didn't even use any glitter glue or anything, and they still look so intense on the eye, so I'm so happy with that. And also the brown shimmers that I used, no, the brown mattes that I used blended so effortlessly. So such a beautiful everyday palette if you want to use those more neutral shades. And of course the one shimmer that I used is quite colorful. It's the more red tone that I have on the outer part of my lid. Again, it's just that stunning formula. I'm so excited that they have tried this new formula because it's literally one of my favorite formulas from them now. I'm so excited to try this one too though, the black one, because that's another formula again. But I think that's due to the pigment in the black, like in a black shimmer shadow, there's just a different pigment that has to be used. Now I didn't really use this shimmer, but I didn't really like how it felt from swatching. But I think that if you do use some glitter glue and pat it on with just a thin layer, I think it will be really nice. Other than that, it's also like this formula with the small shimmer particles. Didn't swatch the best, but I think it's also going to perform really nice on the eye, which is what you want. Like the swatches don't really matter. So all in all, I'm just really impressed by this palette. I like that they have so many different formulas and trying new stuff. So I'm so thankful that they sent me this palette. As for the single shadows here, I think that the regular formula, or what you could call it, I think they have just a very nice formula because they're very shiny, they're very sparkly, they're shifty, and they are very silky to the touch. They're not very gritty while still not feeling like they're too wet or putty-like, because they don't feel like that at all. I am curious how this one will look on the eye, but from the swatch that I managed to get just dry, I think it will be just fine, just like I said with the Glaminatrix ones in my last video. So I'm very excited about these new additions to the single shadows from Micka Beauty Shop. The other makeup that I used I will leave down in my description box, but I wanted to tell you about the Romand, what is it called? Juicy Lasting Tint. I just bought a lot of them from yesstyle.com. And I have this one in dark coconut, and I just love how they look on the lips. They give you a very glossy look to them, and they feel very nice. They're very comfortable without being any kind of sticky. I would consider these to be lip oil, so you will get a tint on your lip, which makes them wear down very nicely during the day. And the blush that I used is Lavish from Glaminatrix. I did just show you swatches of these in the previous video that I uploaded, and I just really like these liquid blushes. They're just so good. But I think that's it for this video. I hope that you liked the swatches and the look that I created, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!